So like I told you before, we're interested to know what you thought about the lesson. So let's start just in general. What do you think about this lesson we just had, we just saw?
That was a pretty solid lesson.
What do you mean by solid? What?
Some lessons are good, some lessons are great, some lessons are bad. That was all in all a solid lesson. I think with this class, we run into a problem sometimes because a lot of what we're doing is review. We've done it already. So when you're being subjected to something you've done already, it feels it can be a little, maybe not boring, but boring.
So you covered this material already?
Right. Yeah. So
in this semester or last year?
Last year with constitutional law and U.S. government. But that was a very good lesson.
So why do you think, even though you covered the material already, why did Mr. Kahn
just to review it and kind of refresh it in our minds?
Okay. Yeah. So, but you feel it was based on something you already had?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what do you think about that kind of lesson? Is it a waste of time or?
No. It was a good lesson.
Okay. And why do you need that refreshment? Why do you?
Well, you tend to forget things like that. A lot of when you're dealing with constitutional law, there's a lot of minutia involved. So
and
every once in a while.
As a refreshment lesson, was that a good one?
Yes, very good.
Okay. What was good about it?
Well, Mr. Kahn has his little idiosyncrasies. He has his little jokes and his illustrations. So.
What do you think about them?
No, most of the time they're pretty good. But like I said, if you feel like you've covered it already and you're doing everything again, sometimes it can be a little drag. But today it was good.
What about the jokes? Why is the joking a good thing? Why is that?
Oh, just the nature of the material that we're looking at. It has the propensity to be boring at times, because if you just hand out sheets and you have us read it, you might not get into it. So trying to make it alive, so to speak, with all the joking and all that, it's a good thing.
Couldn't there be other ways to make it alive, though?
Not that I know of. You could show, I don't know, you could show documentaries or movies, but that's drifting into new territory entirely. So.
Okay. Let's go into a couple of points that we had in the lesson. I wrote down some stuff and just see what you thought about different parts of the lesson. Both react to both what you taught, you were taught, but also to the whole how it was taught. Okay. Let's start with the beginning. You had the example with the males and females, and you voted for breakfast and all that. What do you think about that?
That was great.
Yeah,
that was great.
How was that great?
That's an example of making it like he said towards the end. He was talking about how we have a tendency with constitutional law to make it abstract, and people talking about freedom and liberty and justice and all these ideas, and you don't really bring them into the real world, so to speak. So by taking that vote and doing that, we had the opportunity to really see what we were talking about.
Okay, and all that. You got it. Do you think other students maybe not have got it? Maybe got mixed up? Like, what does he want from us?
No, I thought
males, females.
No, I thought it was pretty straightforward.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone got it. Okay. Another example he gave throughout the lesson was when he went like this, that he does exercise and all that part. When he was laughing about himself. What do you think about that?
That's good. It's always fun to poke some fun at yourself.
Yeah, I think that's.
Yeah. That's good.
Doesn't like open opportunity for students to laugh more at their teachers, like disrespect them?
No, it's a casual, self-deprecating type of thing. So we're not really laughing at him. It's just a way to make the lesson more lively.
So you still respect him as a teacher?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And what do you think of that example?
Which one?
They said when he went with his hand like this.
It was, as far as the content. That was a very good example because
why?
We were talking about your rights as a person or as a minority, and when he was talking about rolling his hand and hitting someone, that's an example of something you can't do. So as far as making it, like I said, making it lively, that was a good example.
Okay. What else do we have? Another part, he took a student, Dina, I think her name was, and he had actually come, stand, go in the middle, talk, all that.
Yeah,
what do you think about that part?
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
Okay.
That's funny. Yeah.
And what did you learn from that?
Well, that actually tripped me up a bit because when he asked the question when he was done, he said he asked, did Dina, when she was in that booth, did she have the freedom of speech? And immediately I thought, well, yeah, we could, because I thought, we could see what she was mouthing, and we could we could hear what she was expressing, but he said no, and that was because she didn't really have a venue to express her ideas. So that brought a little clarity.
So at the beginning you didn't really understand, but then he explained it. Like how did it
I
become?
I thought I did.
Yeah.
But I didn't.
But now.
Yeah.
You do.
So
what happened that made you understand?
The fact that she was in the booth and she was expressing an idea, I thought, well, we can see her and she's saying what she wants to say. She has freedom of speech, but he said that she doesn't.
So his explanation afterwards.
Yeah, his explanation
after the example.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Very good.
And that got you to understand it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. And what about the end? You talked about the 9/11.
That was.
What do you think about that?
I think that was probably the best part of the lesson.
Okay.
Because like he said towards the end, talking about how with constitutional law, with civil law, with all these things, we have a propensity to make it abstract and not apply it to our daily lives. So when he was talking about Osama bin Laden, that was a pretty.
What did you feel at the beginning when he said those statements? You were like,
oh well, no, I'm used to it.
okay.
Yeah.
So you knew it was a joke? You knew it was?
Oh yeah. I knew it's it's just an
facade.
illustration. It's not. I'm not taking it seriously. That's his pedagogical.
But you still say that was the best part of the lesson. So
yeah.
Even though it was kind of a facade, kind of.
Oh yeah.
Why was that still effective?
It's effective because whether he's serious or he's not, we know what he's trying to get across by saying that.
Okay.
Right.
So you understand the idea at the end as well. It isn't only. It's in your head. It's not only the example that he gave. It's also the idea behind the example. Would that be true?
Yeah, the idea behind the example and the example itself.
So you feel that. It doesn't make it easier for you to remember, like you have a test, like I'm guessing, right? You're taking a Regents exam in this course?
Oh, no. Yeah.
Okay, but if you had a test, would those examples help you?
Yes.
Understand the
so.
idea as well?
I think so.
Yeah, like you'd go, okay, yeah, Osama bin Laden.
Osama bin Laden has the right to say those kinds of things, or that it's a powerful image.
Okay.
Yeah.
And why is that image good? Why is that?
It's like a lot of things that we tend to remember. It's jarring. It's not something you can forget easily. So when you use something like that, I think you give students an opportunity to remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, so I got that. How does what we saw just one lesson? How does that connect to the whole course throughout the whole year or semester? I don't know how long this course is, but
the actual course. See, this major is new.
Okay.
So, yeah.
When did you start this course?
This course. Technically, we started in January.
January, okay. So how did this lesson we saw today, just the one lesson, how did that connect to other subjects you learned?
Right. We tend to skip around a bit.
Okay.
That's kind of the nature of the class, but in terms of specific ideas with regards to the Constitution, that fits in with the rest of them, but we haven't really gone in depth with that because we talk about contracts, we talk about all kinds of things related to the law, so it's not always Constitution. We jump around a bit.
Do you feel a connection though, even though you jump around?
I feel like what?
Is there some kind of connection? Is there some kind of thread between all the jumping around?
Yeah, usually.
What is that thread? Can you?
For example, we're doing this program with Macy's where I think for every week for the past month or so they've been coming in, and 2 or 3 weeks ago we had an activity where we negotiated a contract where there were two sides, and one group of attorneys represented a babysitter, and the other group represented a group of parents. I mean, two parents who wanted to go out for dinner and or a party or something like that, and we had to negotiate an employment contract for them. And next week, the Macy's people came in and they talked to us, and we had them in this week as well. So that's an example of tying everything together.
Now,
so
do you think that connects to what we saw today, in a sense?
No, okay. That's a different thread.
Okay.
So we have in this class we have different threads.
Okay.
Like I said, it's a new major.
Yeah.
It's not.
So the lesson we saw today, to what thread does it connect to?
The whole constitutional law thread.
Okay.
Yeah.
And for example,
that's something we do quite. We haven't done it in a while, but we used to have moot appellate court. So there'd be justices, maybe 5 or 9 of us, and we sit down in front of the room, get to look dignified, and the other people argue their case, and we make a decision at the end.
Okay.
So that connects to that.
And to what other just regular classes? whether content connects to the content we had in this class today. For example. Do you have other examples of?
For example, I think it was 2 weeks ago, we were talking about the rights that minorities have, and not in the sense that we were talking about today. We're talking about, for example, affirmative action. We discussed the Grutter and Bollinger and Gratz and Bollinger. So we looked at that. So issues of constitutional. I hate to sound like broken record. Constitutional law, and that's the thread. That's one thread. And like I said, contracts and all that other stuff is another thread.
Okay. Was there any part of the lesson that you found more difficult, more hard for you to understand what he wanted from you?
No.
No, it was all clear?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the part that you least liked, you least felt the connection?
No, today, I don't know, it was excellent today, really.
Okay.
Yeah. Usually there might be one or two things, but
so let's talk in general. Those 2-3 things you don't connect
yeah,
to.
you know, in
what are they usually?
Dog days of school, you know, sometimes it's a little. It happens with a lot of classes. You just
so what
just a general feeling of ennui, like you.
But what does the teacher? We're trying to understand what the teacher does to make it interesting or not or boring. So what does the teacher do? That isn't.
Sometimes the jokes are not. They drag on a bit. Okay. If I could say that, but generally it's always a solid lesson. Okay. Yeah.
So you understood everything as well?
Oh yeah.
Everything was straightforward. Okay. And okay, we have another lesson tomorrow. Mm-hmm. What are you expecting to learn tomorrow? Did it leave you with some kind of expectation or?
Yeah, I think it was sort of a cliffhanger, so we're going to continue with the whole, he gave us the sheet with the 2 Supreme Court cases, so.
And do you know those cases?
I knew the second one, and I knew both of them, I just can't remember one of them. So
okay, so you're looking forward to reading them?
Yeah, I'm going to go.
And what do you expect to do tomorrow in class after you read them?
Well, he said the Supreme Court will be in session tomorrow. I'm excited about that.
Okay.
We haven't had that in a while, so.
What does that mean? They have actually?
Yeah, in the beginning we had, we used to make a big deal out of it. We had, he came in a robe, and there would be a lectern for the speakers, so I don't think we'll be doing all of that tomorrow, but it should be a good time. Okay.
Anything else you want to say to the nation?
To the nation?
to new teachers. Like I said, the video is going to be used with new teachers. So what would, anything we didn't touch on that you think new teachers should learn from Mr. Kahn, from what we saw today in the lesson?
Depending on what you're teaching, generally just try to make it interesting. Try to take it out of the abstract world and make it something that students can really grab. Yeah. Okay, that's good. Now we're going to meet tomorrow as well when we finish the lesson also, and then we'll ask more questions. No problem. Okay, anything else? No. Okay, thank you. Thank you.